Welcome back to Performance TV. In this segment, oil pans. What makes your pan special for these cars?
Well, if you can look at these, the pans that we manufacture are all aluminum. They feature a very thick rail, 100% welding on inside and out. The front and rear seals are machined after the welding processes are done. If you can see, this particular one here is a Circle Track pan. It has a built-in heat exchanger in the side. Particular capacity of this oil pan is 12 quarts.
All of them are built for each individual customer?
Yes. Each individual customer for just about any small block application, be it Mopar, Chevrolet, or Ford, we have this particular style. This is a wet sump engine.
Now, putting on a pan, racers think just throw it on, bolt it on, we're good to go. Is there a proper technique for installing an oil pan?
Make sure the pan fits to start with. All the bolt holes have to line up, as these do, to make sure that the pan's going to fit, hasn't been damaged and frayed, or is for the proper application. The other thing, especially on a wet sump application, is to make sure that the height of the pan and the sump relationship is approximately 1/4, 3/8 of an inch. One way you can tell this is with a simple clay test. We can put a strip of tape on the pickup tube. We can put a little piece of clay on here, take this pan, put it in place, line up the bolt holes, mash the pan down on the pan rails where they're supposed to go, pull the pan off, and right down here you can see how thick the space is between the pickup tube and the bottom of the pan.
That's a neat little trick. It might save you a lot of money and a lot of time and effort.
Something in the 1/4, 3/8 of an inch range, and these pickups can be adjusted a little bit to get the optimum distance.
Now, bolting it on, is there any techniques, torquing? I mean, do you torque an oil pan? Do you, just throw some bolts in it?
On a round track pan, probably one of the most important things is not to have leakage in the pan. Match up the front seal with the front seal on the pan itself. This particular one has a 2.5 inch distance from the flat to the peak, and then make sure that the areas that are likely to seep are touched with just a little bit of sealer.
Not a lot, just enough to make it tack, keep it sealed.
And then we can come in here as a sample, put these gaskets in place, line up the bolt holes, install the front seal. Another trick is to use just a little bit of silicone and keep the silicone on the outside edge of the bolt pattern.
Yeah, you want to keep all the silicone out of your engine. If it's going to come out to the outside.
Yes, we want to make sure that this tapes off. One other thing you can do with the sealant for the gasket in this area here, so the gasket won't move around when we install.
Doesn't take a lot of silicone, just a nice small bead.
If you use too much, you're going to end up with a bead of silicone on the inside of the engine. And when you install the pan, that bead will come on the inside. And
something blocking up the oil passage.
So we can take this pan right now, install it like so, making sure all the bolts are lined up. Start all the bolts before you tighten any, like so.
Doug also makes valve covers. Doug, tell me a little bit about your valve cover. What makes it so special?
Well, if you can look at this closely, you can see that the valve cover has got a 3/4 inch thick rail. That's probably the most important feature of this cover itself. All of the bolts are steel lined for easy removal and not abrading off the aluminum into the top of the cylinder head. If you'll also notice, there's push rod clearances for the rocker ratios that you find today, 100% welded inside and out.
Well, I noticed you're using studs instead of bolts.
We use studs because the studs take the wear and tear of the installing and removing the valve cover. The nut wears the threads on the stud itself.
Yeah, these don't stay on there all the time. They're on and off, so you got to make sure something's going to last.
That's right. This particular cover would fit like so, and we would have a nice steel poured silicone gasket like what this one is right here. Notice it has the built-in torque limiters so that as the bolts are tightened up, they'll bottom out and give an even torque.
That is really cool, Tommy. Wow.
Big flange, it's not going to leak.
No, not at all. I want to thank Doug for coming out here today along with all the other folks. We're out of time for this week.
We had a great time. Next week, we'll see you on Performance TV.
So long.